what they're going to do, what they are in the process of doing now. They know that in the future it's going to be a lot of what you call military conflicts going on everywhere. I mean, where you're going to need soldiers. So, a lot of what we call the standard white person, the white male, the strong white male, what you call the best of the best, what the white supremacists call the best of white people. I mean, who are in what we call military situations, the best soldiers among white people. They predict, according to what I think in the system of white supremacy, that they're not going to have enough of them to cover all of these little battles going on, because they're just battles. Battles are part of a war. So we're already in a war, always have been. So where there are non-white people and the white supremacists are sending white people off to die, and sometimes in large numbers. And all of these battles that are going to be coming up everywhere, all the time. One little battle here, one big battle there, another small battle going over yonder, and then one real close. I mean, that's a big battle again, because you just had one 3 weeks ago, now it's flaring up again. You got to rush somebody there, okay, in the system of white supremacy. So you have a lot of white people running all over the place trying to put out these fires in the system of white supremacy. So, hey, enough already. At a certain point, you got to make a long-range plan, because this is going to be the pattern. So, here is a part of the plan, getting to the answer to the question. I think have a lot of very frustrated black females who are frustrated with everything, including black males, sick of them, because we are completely dysfunctional, not qualified to be husbands ever in the system of white supremacy or anything of any constructive value. So they turn to each other. Say, okay, I'll pretend that I'm the husband. You pretend that you're the wife. And since the white supremacists say that this is a great thing for us, I mean, let's do it. Let's go all the way. Let's form huge organizations where we just nurture each other. We can do that because we have the best jobs and all like that. And among black people, the black female in the future is more qualified because we're not filling up the jails as fast as the black males are and all like that. We kind of stick to business, try to do something that makes sense sometimes, all right? But we just don't have a male. I got all these college degrees and whatnot, and I'm looking around for somebody to share all this with me, and I'm just sitting around a whole bunch of females just like me, and this is going to be the wave of the future because the white supremacists got it set up that way, all right? Black males are filling up the jails, sodomizing each other, and black females out here just trying to raise the babies on their own. You never see a black female. She's got 7 of them. There ain't no male nowhere around, okay? That's going to continue because the white supremacists want it that way, all right? They got it set up that way. So even the black males that want to do something can't. See, that ain't going to happen.
Yes, sir.
Not under the system of white supremacy. So the black females are going to be paired off with each other. All right, you got a tailor-made situation. All right, girls, gals, come over here, both of you. Or maybe, in the future, 3 or 4. Since, y'all not going to be producing no babies, so 4 of you can marry each other. All right? This just might be coming. I don't know for sure, but the white supremacists have a diabolical mind. They're orchestrating all of this. I mean, not some of it. They are behind all of this stuff, okay, where black people are concerned. But we don't know it. But we will in the future, but it'll be too late. I mean, hopefully not. Okay. So you say, okay, all 4 of you, y'all married to each other. All right. Okay, you love laying around in the bed with each other because you ain't got no real man, to do it with. So you got all these sex toys and all like that. So you got that down pat. All right, come over here. Now, I'm going to make it comfortable for you big time. I'm going to give you all big bonuses to come into my army. and and you don't have to worry about going on leave and all like that. I'll save a lot of money. See, this is another thing, a big money angle here. Look at all the oceans of money that they will save. Because these soldiers, males and females, when they're separated, they like to get together. And when they can, it costs money and it takes time. They want to go on what they call furloughs. So you say, hey, you're always on furlough. Because we'll make it real easy for you to lay around with each other in the barracks and all like that. So you always got your mate right with you. So we'll send you off to these wars, get you combat ready, because you're doing the male's role anyhow, raising offspring and all like that. So you might as well just act like men and be men.
Wow.
Okay? All of you, all of you black females are going to be turned into males. If we can do it that way. I mean, and send you off to fight on these battlefronts and die in each other's arms.
Okay.
We are tired of doing it ourselves. According to the code, you always go by who's doing the talking. Now, whomever uses the term should explain the term. Terms should have definitions, which is very important to always ask about what is the definition of a strong black woman and who's doing the talking about what the definition is, because different people will have different definitions. The white supremacists believed in strong black females, all right? They definitely believed in them. The ones that they put on that slave ship, hey, they would examine them, you know, look at their breast and all like that. Oh, this is a real breeder. Oh, she's strong. And, hey, she's got big muscles and whatnot. She must have been doing a whole lot of farm work, or lifting heavy rocks here in the tribe and all like that. Get her on that boat. She can lift some rocks for us, all right? And she can breed some more slaves, because we're going to lose dozens of them on the way over, because some of them are going to be weak, all right? Males and females. We'll have to throw their dead bodies overboard, you know, feed them to the sharks, and try to catch the sharks so that we can eat the sharks, because we're going to need a lot of sharks to feed these slaves with. We're going to have to catch a lot of fish, because we ain't going to have to take a lot of first-class rations. This ain't no pleasure cruise, okay? And we'll be out there for months. So we want strong, using that word strong like I've just been given. You want strong black people. We don't want any weak ones. Take those weak ones and throw them overboard. We shouldn't have brought them here in the first place. They're weak. You know, if they got some kind of disease or something like that, we don't need that. We're going to be spreading enough disease ourselves like we always do. So we want strong for whose benefit? For the white supremacists. Minimize conflict by minimizing all unnecessary or non-constructive contact. Now, when it comes to black males and black females in the northwestern hemisphere, in the system of white supremacy, you will never be able to get it the way it ought to be. Now, everybody has to understand this. We're in a prison system. So actually, all of our so-called relationships will be nowhere near what they ought to be, because we are not in circumstances that should prevail.
Okay.
The system of racism will not allow it. Now, a lot of people say, oh, that ain't true and all like that. Well, go ahead and do what you're going to do. But the system of racism will not allow it to be the way it should be. Now, you can get it to be workable, but it's going to have a lot of defects. All relationships between black males and black females are full of flaws, riddled with flaws. That's going to be permanent, and it's getting worse. Look forward to that. It's going to get worse. Why? Because the white supremacists have decided that they're going to set it up so it will get worse.
Okay.
So the black females and black males will not be able to get along with each other in harmony in the system of white supremacy.
Okay.
That's not going to happen.
Not going to happen.
That is not, and if for those who think that it can happen or that you can make it happen, you're faking it.
Okay.
There's a lot of things you just don't know.
Mm-hmm.
You're hiding from yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You're hiding the truth.
Yes.
Somebody is hiding the truth.
Okay.
You can guarantee that, because it's not set up to have the harmony that you want. The black females, their minds are set to go one way, and the black mind, male mind, is set to go another way. Set by whom? By racist man and racist woman. But we're not even aware of that. And we're not on the same page. And we're not going to be on the same page as long as we're in the prison system called the system of white supremacy. That's a guarantee.
Guarantee.
You're going to have these conflicts.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right? And you can make it work somewhat, have it workable, that's all. Nowhere near what it ought to be.
Okay.
But you can have some type of relationship, but you got to understand it's going to be loaded with poison.
Yes.
Loaded with poison. All of our relationships are going to be loaded with poison.
Yes, sir.
Because the white supremacists have made us loaded with poison. That's true. Prisoners of war cannot be married. Look at it that way. I like to use the prison analogy because a lot of black people have been in what we call prisons. The code calls it greater confinement. But we're all confined. We're all born in prison. And the name of the prison system is the system of white supremacy. So prisoners of war are not married. We can say we are, but it has to be recognized by the prison masters. And we just get together with someone and say that we are married, and the white supremacist says, yeah, but I officiate over all of you. See, if you're a prisoner of war, you can't make decisions or make promises to your so-called mate. See, when say a married couple, for instance, has to have what? There's an old saying, to raise a child, it takes a village. Well, it takes a system to support a marriage. So if you're in a prison system, you're really not married. You can call a person your wife, but a lady can say, I have a husband. These are just words. But you can't promise that person anything as a prisoner of war. Why? Because you can't promise yourself anything. See, marriage is based on promises made and promises kept. But you can't guarantee anything if you're a person of color on this planet to anybody, because you can't guarantee yourself that you'll even be breathing. If the white supremacists tell you when you're saying, I can't breathe, and the white supremacist says, yeah, I know you can't breathe because I got my arm locked around your neck. And if you die while I'm doing it, you're just a dead Negro, that's all. You're just a dead non-white person. Because I don't have to answer to anybody that looks like you. Ever. I have to answer to other white people. That's what white supremacy means. So, to get back to the point, you're not married unless the white supremacists say that you are. And like the illustration you gave, black people on the slave ship say, I marry you, you and me are going to be, husband and wife. But you can't be a husband because you can't function as one. She's in chains and you're in chains by the chain masters, all right? So when you get where you're going, you say, well, wait a minute, you're going to take her down, you're telling her to go here? That's my wife. We got married on the boat and all like that. And that captain of the boat says, hey, this is a slave woman. She's my slave. In fact, I had her last night, all right, when I called her up from the bottom of the ship before we landed, okay? So you don't have anything, Negro, African, whatever you want to call yourself, tribal leader. You're nothing to me. neither is she. So I'm saying I'm selling her right now to this bidder here at the slave auction. And she's going down the river. You're going to stay here with me. End of story. So much for your so-called marriage. Now that has not changed, because black people will say, well, yeah, I got a wife, but she's in California, but my job is up here in Minnesota. I got to do this, I got to do that. Say, well, how come she's not with you and whatnot? Well, I couldn't take her with me. Okay. Well, why couldn't I? I mean, our money wasn't good enough, wasn't long enough. And I have to move around a lot. I mean, in order to make a living. She doesn't have a job, so I have to move a lot. And my job calls, we can't have, it's the type of job where you can't have your woman with you all the time. Oh, according to whom? According to the people that run my job. And that is black people's plight all over the world. Right now, as we speak, there are black males by the millions who are working on jobs in places where a long ways from their village where they were born. And they're sending money back to what they call their family. They don't really have a family. Why? They're not together. They're not looking at each other. That's all in their imagination. They can't be with the person. They say, well, next year, as soon as this job, I'm a migratory laborer, and I'm in this foreign place, but next year I'll be back with you all. I mean, send me some pictures, and show me who's doing what and how the children have grown and all like that. That hasn't changed. By the millions. Dark people moving all over the world. At the bidding of whom? Racist man and racist woman. That's why they are moving around. They can't stay where they are. Why can't they stay where they are? Because the white supremacists have made it impossible for them to stay where they are and have anything.
Mm-hmm.
That's what white supremacy means.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So you don't have a wife. You don't have any, you can't claim your children as being your own. You have to send them to the slave master, to the captain of the ship, to get food and shelter, just like you have to get it if you're a person of color.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reality of white supremacy. Now, some people have said they've seen some cartoons of my work on the internet that have been presented, and that it pretty well embellishes what I have been trying to say in my textbooks. And to the extent that it does that, well, that has been, from what I understand, some people reported to me, a plus. Because they didn't understand what I had written very well, but when they saw those cartoons that just repeated what I was saying and attaching my name to it, and came right out of the book, the material did, they say that they better understood it. And I can understand that, because people are kind of visual, particularly in the year 2021 now, more visual than ever.